अस्त्युत्तरस्यां दिशिदेवतात्मा हिमालयो नाम नगाधिराजः पूर्वापरौ तोयनिधीवगाह्य स्थितः पृथिव्या इव मानदण्डः. Conversation between Parameshwara and Parvati is happening here right now, and Parameshwara now he wants to ask something very personal. So we say Purva Pitika, it's like a Purva Pitika that he starts off with saying, you know what, don't think, if it is Rahasyam, you don't need to say, if it is not a Rahasyam, then you please answer my curiosity. I'm very straightforward, I'm not trying to probe into anything. And he says, Ato atra kinchit bhavatim bahukshamam द्विजाति भावात् उपपन्न चापलः अयञ्जनः प्रष्टुमनाः तपोधने न चेद्रहस्यं प्रतिबोधयिष्यसि. So I want to ask something of you. You have extreme patience. Bahukshama. Dvijati bhavatu upapanna chapalaha. I have this curiosity because I have been born in this jati of Brahmana, and I am quite straightforward. I have nothing in my mind. There is no malice. There is no hidden agenda here. I am janaha prashtumanaha. I wish to ask you something. Nached rahasyam. If it is not a great secret, then tell me. Pratibodhayishyasi. Okay. Then he says, Kule prasutihi prathamasya vedhasaha triloka saundaryamiva avarjitam vapuhu iva arjitam vapuhu amrigyam aishwaryam sukham navam vayaha tapah phalam syat kim atah param vada. Atah param tapah phalam kim syat. I am unable to understand why you are doing this tapas. So Shiva asks this question. He says, see, people will want to do tapas because they have not been born in a good lineage. Whereas your lineage is excellent. There is no question about it. If you want some physical attributes that you are lacking in, then you can do tapas. Your triloka saundaryam, iva arjitam vapuhu. It's as if your body has earned that saundaryam which you cannot find in all three worlds. Amrigyam aishwarya sukham. If you want sukham, wealth, that is also there in your house. Navam vayaha. It's also not the age to say, you know what, I'm done with my life. I have experienced everything that I have to experience in life. Let me go and do tapas. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Tathapi nasti atra. Navam vayaha. You have a young age also. This is not the age for doing tapas. Vardhake munivrittinam. Natu tatha yavvane vishayishinam. During yavvanam you have to enjoy the world, right? So what is your problem? No, he says, for what purpose are you doing this tapas? Prathamasya vedasaha kule prasutihi. Prathamasya vedasaha nama brahma yada srishtikramam arabdhavan. Tata tadrisha prathama brahmanaha kule prasutihi. So there were certain creations that he did even before the Prajapatis. And Himavad Parvata was one of those. So you have been born in a kulam, kule prasutihi. Your birth has been in a family which was first created by the first Brahma. Prathamasya vedasaha kule prasutihi. Triloka saundaryam iva arjitam vapuhu. Vapuhu, your body seems to have arjitam, earned the saundaryam, beauty that is there in all three worlds. Amrigyam aishwarya sukham. Amrigyam, you don't need to go and search for the aishwaryam or wealth. The sukham that you get from money or wealth is there. In the first Sarga itself he says, Yam sarva shailaf parikalpya vatsam mero sthite dogdhari dohadakshe ratnaushadhihi duduhur daritrim. Yeah. So when the Prithu Maharaja decided to, when the earth pulled all of the resources into herself, every jati in this world, every living being, species of living being was suffering because of that. She said, see, people did not return. So, see, when you start cutting trees, it's like this. It's a small example to understand what was happening during that time. So when you start cutting trees and you don't replant and replenish the earth or the atmosphere, then the saram will completely go away from the earth. So it will keep on pulling itself inside, and there will be nothing for it to reproduce outside. right? You just keep on taking from something and you never put back. How will your bank balance be enough? You will have to replenish that bank balance. You can't keep on just taking. You will have to give your salary also into the bank for the balance to be high, right? The same way the bhumi is also like that. You can't keep on taking from her. At some point you have to give. So there was this king called Vena, who during his reign, nobody was doing the right thing towards the earth or towards the three worlds, towards the devas, etc. They stopped performing yagas, they only kept on taking from the earth. So she withdrew everything within herself and there was nothing for her to produce. Now, when Prithu became the Maharaja, he was very angry with the Prithvi for not giving anything back, and so he started chasing her. She took on the form of a cow and she started running away from Prithu Maharaja because he wanted to kill her. Then Bhuma Devi says, you know what, you yourself have to protect me, and why are you killing me right now? Then he says, you're not giving anything. The people are suffering from drought and everything. So he says, it's your fault. You are not giving anything. That has to be given. You're not doing your duty. And she says, listen, people have not been doing things in return. That is why I have nothing to offer. Everything has gone inside like a saram. Now you have to maad karakara madri. You have to milk the riches out of me. That is, you have to create the resources inside me and take it out. That is when there is a big description in most Puranas, like Bhagavata Puranam has this, you have Vishnu Puranam also has this. He appoints one person who is the best among that jati as a dogdha, the cowherd, and then one is used as a calf, and using the calf you milk the cow of the riches. So there is a product that they receive. Like for example, the mountains appointed Meru mountain as the dogdha, and they appointed Himavat Parvata as the calf, and they milked the cow for the riches that usually the mountains give, which is Aushadhi and Ratnam. So all of these are present in Himavat Parvata. And that is something you don't need to go outside and search for. Aishwarya Sukham, if you need any kind of Sukham, happiness from money or Aishwaryam, wealth of any kind, you don't need to search for it at all. It is there in your house itself. Now, Navam Vayaha. This is where he says you don't need to do tapas at all. You are in your youth and you are supposed to be enjoying the wealth that you have. Kim ataf param tapaf phalam syat vada. Now tell me, what more are you expecting to receive out of your tapas? Nanu kim prashna prativachanabhyam bhavata eva tavat uhyatam iti imam ashankam swajignyasitasya arthasya uha agocharatvam darshayan apakaroti tribhihi shlokaihi. So, in the earlier shloka when he said, if it is not a rahasyam, please tell me. There can be a situation where Parvati probably would say, why don't you take a guess? Why do you want to ask me these questions? And he says, I'm trying to guess, but it seems to be beyond the range of my guess. I am unable to understand the reason for your tapas. So, in 3 shlokas, he is going to talk about this. Nanu kim prashna prativachanabhyam. What is the reason for asking a question and replying? Bhavata eva. Shiva himself could tavat uhyatam. You can yourself guess it. Iti imam shankam. If Parvati were to ask such a question, then swajignyasitasya arthasya, the answer that he wants to know, jnatum ishtasya arthasya, uha agocharatvam, it is impossible for me to guess. Iti darshayan, in order to show that Parameshwara speaks out his mind in 3 shlokas. Tatra adau devyaha aihikapala akanksha nirakaranadvarena स्वजिज्ञासितस्य अर्थस्य ऊहा अगोचरत्वम आह. there is no aihika phalam that you could want. Aihika phalam is any sort of a result that you want, which is of this world, which can be obtained in this world. I don't see anything of that sort. It is beyond my guess. Then he will go to amushmika phalam, right? So kule tatra tavat swataha eva abhijatya yuktayaha tava idam tapascharanam na vishwamitradivat abhijatya kamanaya ityaha. Swatayeva, by yourself, naturally, you are born in an extremely great vamsha. Abhijatyam nama sreshta kule prasutihi tatra vartate tava. Tarihi yukta abhijatya yuktayaha, for a person who has been born in a great family, tava idam tapascharanam na vishwamitradivat, like how Vishwamitra wanted a title of Brahma Rishi. See, he was after all a Kshatriya. Being a Kshatriya, he could not attain the title of a Brahma Rishi because Brahma Rishi belongs to the Brahmanas who were doing Vedadhyanam. He wanted to be considered as a Brahma Rishi even though he was born in Kshatriya Kulam. For that, he went and did tapas. His Kulam was not, it was more to do with the fighting and everything. The focus was more on fighting, but he wanted to attain this title of Brahma Rishi. Right? So, Vishwamitradivat abhijatya kamanaya na tapascharanam. You don't need to do a tapas like Vishwamitra to attain a great kulam. That is not necessary because Prathamasya vedasaha kule prasutihi. Prathamasya vedasaha brahmanaha marichyadinam sarga shesha vidhayitvat na prathamyam. Marichyadinam na prathamyam. See, Marichi and others were Prajapatis who were first created by Brahma. Brahma was the first creator. The next rung of creators were 10 or 12, depending on the Puranam, depending on the number of people. There were so many Prajapatis. They were called Prajapati because they were given the task of creating living beings in this world. We know about Kashyapa Prajapati, who was responsible for creating all the birds and animals and the serpents and everything. So, in that manner, so they, Marichi, Atri, Kashyapa, these were all Prajapatis, Pulastya. So, Sarga Shesha Vidhayitvat, the remainder of the Sarga. Okay, so, okay. In the Jati question law, it's a little, we will address it later. So, Prathamasya Marichyadinam Sarga Shesha Vidayitvat na Prathamyam. Marichyadinam Prathamyam na vartate. So, when you say he was born in Kashyapa Kulam or Pulastya Kulam or Marichi Kulam, it cannot be taken as the first and foremost of progeny. Because they are in fact responsible for the rest of the Sarga. And here, Yajñartham Kule Vamshe Prasutihi Udbhavaha Tava Yajñartham Maya Srishtaha Himavan Achaleshwaraha Iti Brahma Vachanat Achaleshwarasya Brahmaputratvam. Whereas, just like Narada or Sanat Kumaras, they are all direct children of Brahma. They have not been born through the Prajapatis here. So, you have been born in the direct Vamsha. You are not some subsidiary ancillary Vamsham or anything. Right? So, if you look at Krishna and maybe Kamsa and the Madri, depends on how they have been, like the Kauravas, Dhritarashtra and all are born in the main family, whereas you have Bhurishravasya Yaro Orthar who is born in the Uttara Kuru Vamsha. He is a brother of Shantanu and then a descendant of the brother of Shantanu and the Madri. So it's a different family there. This is direct descendant, like Manasaputras of Brahma. Okay, so Yajñartham, for the sake of Yaga, Maya Himavan Achaleshwaraha Srishtaha. So Brahma himself says, I have created Himot Parvata for the sake of Yajñangartham, for the sake of obtaining things that we need for conducting a sacrifice. So Tatascha Tatputra Tatputraha tatkula jatatvam. So here when we say Parvati's kulam, she is a direct descendant of Brahma himself. So Tatputraha, the sons or the children of Himavan, become belong to the family of Brahma himself. Napi sarvastri jana sadharanya saundarya akankshaya saundaryasya bhavatyam lokottarataya vidyamanatvat ityaha. So sarvastri jana sadharanya saundarya akankshaya napi. Every woman, if she does tapas, it is probably to become more beautiful and more beautiful, attain more beauty. That can be a reason also. So Saundarya Akanksha, which is Sadharanam for Sarvastri, for all the women, that is also not there because Brahma Pattu Pannaru bolya. So he took the Samagri for, he created only one face using the Samagri, and then for the rest of the body he had to go and scrounge for it. So that is the description we saw in the first Sarga itself. So Saundaryasya Bhavatyam Lokottarataya Vidyamanatvat. Your Saundaryam is something beyond the three worlds. So what to say? Vapuhu Triloka Saundaryam Arjitam. Your body has acquired, has earned a Saundaryam, a beauty which is Lokatraye Vidyamanam Saundaryam Arjitam Ekatra Sanchitam. All of that has been taken and created, Parvati has been created with that. Panchabhuta Rupam Upadanam Apahaya. Every being in this world who belong to this world, who are of this bhumi, have been created with the Panchikaranam of the Panchamahabhutas. Whereas Parvati's body has not been created like that. Panchabhuta Rupam Upadanam Apahaya. Upadanam, Upadana Karanam, material cause. So the material that is required for creating bodies are the 5 elements. Apahaya, he let go of all that. That is, he abandoned the Panchabhutas, Brahma, and Lokatraye Vidyamanam Saundarya Saramatram Upadaya. He took the essence of the beauty that is there in all 3 worlds, and Tenaiva Nirmitam Iti Pratiyamanam, and he used that to create Parvati. You don't need to do tapas for Saundaryam. Ataf param ka saundarya akanksha iti bhavaha. So what other beauty can there be? We have Saundarya Lahari, which is of 100 shlokas, and the first 40 are supposed to be written by Nandi or written by Parameshwara himself. Parameshwara, yes. So napi sakalajana prarthaniya dhana akankshaya dhanasyapi tvayi niravadikatvat. There is no akanksha, there is no need for money also, because tvayi dhanasya niravadhikatvat. You have limitless cash with you. So Aishwarya Sukham Amrigyam. Aishwaryena Dhanena Yat Sukham Dana Upabhogadi Lakshanam Tadapi Amrigyam Nama Achintyam Dhanam Vartate. So the Sukham that you have is complete, the Aishwaryena Sukham. What is the Sukham that you can obtain with the money that you have? Danadi. Danena Sukham Bhavati eva. You're happy to see another person happy because of that. And upabhoga, you are enjoying it also. You are enjoying all kinds of luxuries. You don't need to think about it at all. Jananam manasaha api agocharam ityarthaha amrigyam iti chet. Even people cannot even understand the extent of luxuries that are there with Parvati in her palace. Tathacha vakshyati alakam ativahyeva vasatim vasu sampadam swargabhishyanda vamanam kritva iva upaniveshitam. This city of Himod Parvata, where Angiras and the Saptarishis are going to come and ask for the hand of Parvati. So she says at the end she will accept and all that, and then she'll say, you have to come and ask my father for my hand. She didn't say, okay, yes, let's go to your house. Tatha nasti yatra. So she says, let's follow all the rules, and you have to ask someone from your side to come and ask for my hand. What can Parameshwara do? He doesn't have parents or anybody to come and ask. So he thinks about the Saptarishis, and all of them come there along with Arundhati, she is the representation of women folk. So she also accompanies the Saptarishis and goes to Himat Parvata's city. So that city is being described here. Alakam ativahya iva. It is as if the city of Himavan excels even Alakapuri. Alakapuri is the city of Kubera. Kubera is the Dhanadaha. He is the king of wealth. He is the ruler of wealth, the lord of wealth. So his city, the Himat Parvata city, seems to excel even Alakapuri. Vasu Sampadam Vasatim. It was a place which was filled with wealth. This is the best part. Swarga abhishyanda vamanam kritva upaniveshitam iva vartate. See, the Swargam was overflowing with wealth. Abhishyanda. Abhishyanda is that which is overflowing from Swarga. All of them vamanam kritva. Vamanam kritva nama grahanam kritva. That overflowing wealth has been taken and it has been put here in Himavat Parvata's city, it seems, Vasati, or his palace. So Himavan's palace seems to have all the overflowing wealth from Swargam, and it is there, which means the wealth that is there is achintyam. It doesn't even come within the range of perception of people. So this comes in the 6th Sarga later. Nanu akamanaya tapascharanameva paraha dharmaha. What are you saying? Nishkama karma. Phala abhisandanam vina eva tatra karma karanam uchitam nityuktam khalu. Tarhi akamanaya, without any kamana, without any wish, desire, tapascharanam, for doing tapas is the greatest dharma. Tasyaiva mukti sadhanatvat, because it is the tool to achieve moksha, to achieve liberation. It's well known. Kim kamanantara vicharanaya iti imam ashankam vardhake munivrittinam ityadi vachana virodhat yavvane tasya anashankaniyattvena pariharati. So kim kamanantara vicharaniya. So what other desire do I have to think about? The tapascharya itself is the desire here. The means itself is the goal. Right? So doing tapas itself becomes the goal. It also, as a secondary, it does give liberation also. Right? Saguna upasanatu atra sreshtataya eva manyate. So, kamanantara vicharanaya kim, what is the prayojanam for thinking about another desire? Iti imamashankam. Maybe Parvati could answer in this manner, but Parameshwara has a reply for that also. Listen, vardhake eva munivrittinam. The rule is only when you are in your old age you have to follow the vritti, the behavior of a sage. Why are you doing it now? In Yavvanam, Navam Vayaha. Ityadi vachana virodhat yavvane tasya anashankaniyattvena pariharati. So we cannot think of tapascharya, akamana tapascharya as a rule for people who are in yavvanam. That cannot be doubted here at all. Because you have a yavvanam right now. So vayaha navam, vayaha yavvanam, navam nama prarabdha matram. You have just stepped into yavvanam right now. It's not that you are a praudha naika iti nasti atra. Athava yavvanapekshaya tapascharanam eva anena vakyena nirakriyate. Instead of just saying that, you are in your yavvanam or anything. Yes, you have yavvanam. So why are you even doing tapas? There is no other result there. So he is completely negating the necessity for a tapas by the statement. Tasmat yuktam uha agocharatvam ityaha. So it is not possible for me to take a guess here. I don't understand. Iti Parameshwaraha vadati. Ataf param kim tapah phalam syat vada. Ataf param asmad upanyastat. Whatever I have said before, upanyastam nama, that which I have been put forth. I have put forth right now. Abhijatyadehe anyat. So abhijatyam, aishwaryam, and then saundaryam, and akamana tapascharya. just mukti sadhanartham. Mukti sadhanam tu tatra kimartham evam karoti iti. So kim nama kshepe na kimapi iti asti. So kim tapah phalam syat. Kim syat? What could be there? Iti ched na kimapi asti ityeva tatra kakva akshepah. Vada asya tapasaha phalabhutam anyat kimapi name vicharamargam arohati. Asti chet vada. I am unable to figure out what is the result that you are expecting from this tapas. If you know, tell me. Then the curiosity and the questioning is valid here, right? Khule prasutihi prathamasya vedhasaha triloka saundaryamiva arjitam vapuhu amrigyam aishwaryam sukham navam vayaha tapah palam syat kim atah param vada kshepe. So here what he says, kim iti kshepe, akshepe. It is not a prashnarthe, kintu adhikshepaha solrol, yeah. So andha madri, it is like literally throwing. Kshepa is actually throwing na solluvom. Literal meaning is just throwing it out there, but you can call it as a kind of contempt. I don't see any reason for you to do tapas. Bhavatyanishtādapi nama dussahat manasvininam pratipattiridrishi vichara marga prahitena chetasa na drishyate tacha talodari tvayi. So there can be two things you want from tapas. One is ishta avapti. The another thing is anishta aprapti. Something that is anishtam you have got and you wanted to remove that anishtam. That could also be a reason. So atra purvam tu ishta avaptihi sambhavyate. Something that you want, you desire, either kulam or aishwaryam, saundaryam, something of that sort, or mukti, moksha. Some such thing you want. Whereas there can also be something as anishtam which you wanted to remove, like rogapaharanam. Narayaniyam was completely composed with the idea in mind that he wanted to remove his rogam. Right? So bhavati anishtadapi nama dussahat manasvininam idrishi pratipattihi bhavati. It is possible that manasvininam, for people who are who have a great pride or who honor themselves really well, they don't want to go and ask somebody else to remove their problem. Like for example, the example that the Vyakhyata takes here is Dhruva. See, Dhruva suffered insult. He did not want to go and approach his father or anybody else and talk to it. He directly approached Bhagavan with this tapas. So that could also be possible. So dussahat anishtat idrishi, from the, because of an anishtam, an undesired result or undesired thing which is completely intolerable, dussahat idrishi pratipattihi, this sort of a understanding can come about. That is, this sort of a conclusion can come that I need to perform tapas to remove this anishtam. Vichara marga prahitena chetasa tacha na drishyate tvayi. Hey talodari, he makes a comment and he also wants to approach her mind with this expression, right? Talodari nama, one who has a very adena odungina oru udaram, one whose stomach is very thin or waist is thin. So tvayi, in you, tacha na drishyate, I don't see any anishtam in you also, even after analyzing it really well. Vichara marge prahitena chetasa, with my mind into the margam, into the pathway of analysis, yet I am unable to figure out if you are suffering any anishtam, because of which you are doing this tapas. Nanu anishta avaptya balye api tapascharanam sambhavatyeva yata druvadinam ityashankya pariharati. Anishta avaptya, because you have attained something which is undesirable, even in a young age it is possible for you to do tapascharanam sambhavatyeva, like Dhruva, etc. Now that also he is removing from his analysis right now, Parameshwara. दुस्सहात् अनिष्टात् अपि मनस्विनीनाम् ईदृशी प्रतिपत्तिः भवति नाम दुस्सहात् सोढुम् अशक्यात् अनिष्टात् अप्रियात् हेतोः बिकॉज ऑफ दैट अनभिभवनीये केनचित् कृतात् इति शेषः अनभिभवनीयं नाम something that cannot be crossed at all or cannot be overcome. So the anishtam has come from someone or some source which cannot be overcome. Like Adi Devika, Adi Bhautika, these things cannot be. There is an earthquake. How can you overcome the earthquake? Right? The other things can be within your grasp. This can also be something which is beyond your grasp and it is difficult to overcome. Tatha kenachit kritat apriyat. Somebody whom you cannot conquer or you cannot overcome, from that person such an anishtam has come. Na purvoktadi purvoktat ishta anavaptehe apitu anishta avaptehe api ityapi shabdartah. Api here anishtadapi bhavatyanishhtadapi ityuktam khalu. Api ityukte not only not getting what you desired, ishta anavaptehe purvoktam nama purvasmin shloke yadyaduktam tat sarvam tu ishtam eva tad ishtasya anavaptehe api evam tapascharya yukta apitu na kevalam yukta kintu anishta avaptehe. Even if you have obtained something which is anishtam, this is possible. So that even if abringartakaha that api shabdarthaha vartate. So manasvininam sthirachittanam, those who have a very strong will, idrishi tvayi idanim drishyamana prakara. Idrishi nama whatever I see you performing, that is possible. Pratipattihi nama pravrittihi, this kind of an action nama it is possible. Nama atra kutroktam anishtadapi nama sambhavanayam uktamatra bhavatyeva bhavati khalu. It is possible for me to guess that because of anishtam some people might adopt such a methodology to remove that anishtam. Yes, it is possible. Paraihi sampaditat anishtat api Manininam atyanta duscharana sambhavana asti eva ityartaha. It is possible for sthirachitta, for a person who is self-determined, atyanta duscharana sambhavana. It is possible for them also to do something which is very difficult to do, like this tapascharya that you are adopting. It is possible for them also to do if they have encountered something very unpleasant from another person. Paraihi sampaditat anishtat api. If they are very determined, then it is possible that they want to somehow conquer this, no matter what. Tathapi, I accept that. It is the usual behavior. Samanya ritya tattu drishyate eva. Parantu tvayi tad anupapannam. That doesn't seem to fit well for you. Because talodari tacha vicharamarga prahitena chetasa tvayi na drishyate. Talodari nimna udari. Karatalam hi kinchana nimnam bhavati. Karatalam nama, what he is trying to say is, when we say tala, it means it is something that is depressed a little bit. So it's like as if your stomach is not bulging out, but it is concave. That is only talam. So kinchit nimnam ityeva. Tari tasya arthaha krishodari. One who has a very thin waist or a cave kind of abs madri. Her stomach is like that. Anenapi tad anupraveshartam stutihi samudrikoktaha vakshyamanaha gunaha cha suchyate. This also is a kind of his way to approach and enter into her mind. Anupraveshartam. And to placate her. To, soften Parvati here, he is doing a stotram towards Parvati by indicating a samudrika lakshanam, which is a quality, a guna that she has. So, you look quite fit also, right? Talodari nama, there is no rogam which is indicated in your body. You look quite fit, and at the same time, then why do you have to do tapas? Yeah. So, anena api, tad anishtam, Chakaraha purva pratipadita ishta anavapti samuchayartha. We have seen that. So ishta anavapti along with anishta avapti. So na kevalam ishta anavaptihi tvayi anupapanna apitu anishta praptihi cha anupapanna eva. That also won't fit you. Vicharasya margaha vichara margaha tad anusarena prahitena preritena chetasa manasa. When I inspire my mind to go into the path of vichara sagaram, or there is a Vedanta text called Vichara Sagaram. So vicharam is like one ocean. Your mind has no limit. It can continuously put 1 and 2 together, try to analyze situations, permutation, combinations. See, the power of the mind is huge. It depends on how you want to harness that power of mind. No? So he says, Vichara marge prahitena, preshitena manasa, tvayi tat na drishyate, tvayi anantara shloka vakshyamana guna vishishtayam bhavatyam. He is going to talk about her quality here in the next few shlokas. I don't see it in you at all. Na drishyate na pratiyate. Yadyapi stri samanyeta dupapattihi astyeva. The moment a woman goes into some difficulty, immediately we will try to say some japam, some do some parayanam, go to the temple, do some puja, some archana to some lord, look at jadagam. This is very natural for stri samanyetu etattu swabhavikam iti vakti. So tad upapattihi asti eva tathapi tvayi anishtasya leshaha api na upapadyate na anishtasya. Atra na tu I always try to bracket the na and put it later. So anishtasya leshaha api na upapadyate tvayi. There is no chance of having something undesired in you. I can't even see it. It's all one kind of a praise for Parvati here. Bhavati anishtadapi nama dussahat manasvininam pratipattiridrishi vichara marga prahitena chetasa nadrishyate tacha talodari tvayi. Okay, stop with this.